Hello, we are here for one more lesson of the T-FLEX analysis training course, and the topic for today will be the definition of a material. A material is also an element that we have inside T-FLEX CAD, and it contains the list of characteristics of a real material which the user deals in real life. And these real characteristics are going to be used for the studies. The characteristics of the material can be divided into groups. We have what we can call the first type or the first group, which basically affect the display of the 3D objects inside the graphical area. And we have a second group or a second type of characteristics called physical parameters. Things like the density, the elasticity modulus, strength limiting tension, and others. These are the characteristics that are needed to carry out the calculations. As you may understand about this, a part responds to the loadings that the user defines depends on the type of material that this part is made of. There are a lot of characteristics as we mentioned, and as we already seen in all the videos that we release until now. And it is important also to mention that T-FLEX analysis supports both isotropic and anisotropic materials. Okay, a quick explanation of what is this. The isotropic materials are the ones where the physical properties of the material, modules of elasticity, Poisson coefficient, and coefficients of heat conduction and linear thermal expansion are considered invariant in respect to the orientation of the body in space and are identical in all directions. Okay, for sure that anisotropic are the ones where these conditions vary according to the orientation in space and according also to the geometry of the object. So this is very easy because when we create one object, and I've created one, when we create one object, if you go to the parameters of the object, by default, in the parameters of the object, not inside the analysis, we have a definition of the material. And when we define a material from here, it will get the characteristics of what is defined inside the software. So when we go to analysis, we create a new study and define all the parameters. This definition of the material, it is very important for the calculation, and we have one entry here, material, where all these characteristics are defined. Okay, and we can change this, change the units, or say consider what we need with two options here. If we choose this option from study operation body, then the system will consider what is defined from the 3D model. If we want to have a different option for the study, then we can say define it by study, and we can choose another material, okay, whatever it is, and we have here a list of the characteristics which we can also define. Maybe this one is not so okay. We can have another material which has a definition inside the library of characteristics of the softwares, and if we want to change any of those, we can also change it. As you can see, also this transversal orthotropic. The orthotropic I did not mention, but the orthotropic is another definition for the change of characteristics in space. And we can have all these defined, okay, create a fatigue law, whatever we want. So I think it's quite easy to make this definition of all the materials that we may need to carry out the calculations. Any help you may need about this topic, you know how to reach us, so you can send us an email or make a comment inside YouTube.